Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're gonna talk about Angular routing. So recently Angular released their new version Angular 18. There's not much significant changes, but it should be consistent with the other version also, let's say from 4 till now. So to work on this, what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a new application. So I gonna call it ng thing app, and I'm gonna use CSS, server-side rendering, no. And once we have that, we're gonna go to the documentation here, where we're gonna see routing. Now, if we open the routing, it will gonna give us initially the common routing. Now, to generate a new routing, we can just write a component. So here is the example, like we have our first component, second component, and then we can go to the providing router. So this is kind of new in Angular 17 and 18. We can use any provider inside a provider instead of like back in the day we used to use module. So when the standalone component was introduced, of everything, whatever we was using in the module could be using through providers. So we can use the providers for the routing, and we can define our routes. Pretty much that stays same how to navigate through different component. So we're gonna see that our application is done, and we can go to our application and say npm install and npm start. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna open our application also in a code editor. I do enjoy WebStorm, so I'm gonna go ahead and use that. So if I go desktop, I have this ng routing. Um, Looking at the first look, is still the same initially how it was looking. I don't need all of this. I can just write h1. This is my h1, and pretty much this should change to h1. I can open my inspect element as well, where I can see anything I need to debug. So to start with, I'm gonna create my first and second component. Let's try with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and generate a component, the first as well as the second one. So now I have my first component as well as my second component. Now back in the days, we used to see that there's a app module. Now in 17 and 18, we don't need it anymore. We have the router module already provided. What we have seen, we just can define our route. It takes an array, and array will gonna be part of a object, which is passing is the path. Second is a component, so we're gonna say first component. We can use the similar path they are using. So first component, second component, so we're just gonna give copy paste, and for second component we need to import that. Now if you notice, our root is still there, and if we just say first component, you will notice that it doesn't represent that. It's because we need something called router outlet. um, we gonna see that we need to be able to use the router outlet where the new component will gonna show up. So for that, as you can see, we need to be able to import the router outlet module. and so let's do that. However, I can just, whenever I do that, I'm gonna ask me to import that. No, it didn't. It's already imported. Now if I run, I see that first work and it's on. I can create some links that we can see here. So let's do that also. So let me explain what's going on. Um, I For that I need to import the router link as well as router activation as well. So this is just another list, and this is just a anchor tag where first component and active true is because whenever this link is activated, which means in the URL, whenever we have this, we're gonna have a CSS class called active. So we can verify that using inspect element. Now if you notice, in this particular CSS page, whenever I have that, I have a class called active. Now this can be anything. Active page, I can say, and I'll see that it's active page here. Based on that, we can define some CSS where if I go here, it's gonna be removed, you see, and signal is gonna be active. In that way, we can tell the user this page is already active. So I can say active page, or I can define red. So you see, every time I go, the text become red. Router order, so usually it read from top to bottom, so whenever it match a finding it goes to the bottom. And then there are a couple of things we need to know. Is one is like displaying 404 page, so this is pretty easy. We can use the wildcard character. If I open the routes, I'll see that double streak, and I don't have this component, so generate component, I can say page not found, and I'll be able to, sorry, I can import that also. Now what happened is, like, let's assume in the HTML I have another page where I have something which doesn't match. What I can do now is page not found will be triggered, so because of this. So just for formatting purpose. um, Then also there are also different way we can do nesting routing. So one of the thing is, whenever we do nesting routing, we need to understand the children concept. So as you see in the first component in the example, I have a children, which children A and children B. And whenever we go to children, we need to be able to reroute to children 1 and children 2 based on whatever we need. So let's try it out. First thing we need is children A. So I'm gonna generate children A and children B component. Component children A and children B. And I'm gonna copy this out all the children. On the first component, if I go, I'm gonna add the children now. So I'm gonna input also here A and B. Now you will notice that if I just add the children A or B in the route, so I can just use another inside the list. I can use another UL, it should be slash child A. I believe that's the route we decided. Yeah, child A and child B. Child A. So now if we look at this, we can go to children A, B, but it still is the same problem that we had initially. We don't have an outlet on this first component. So what we can do is add the router outlet, and that will gonna import the outlet also module. And now if we go to children A, we're gonna see that children A works, children B works, as well as whenever it's in the first component works. This is how we can do the children A or B. Now, this is when we use a resolver. Um, Resolver is nothing but we would like to uh, get some data when we pre-render some data from either through backend or some logic before we enter to this page. What we can see is title is just a parameter, and we say resolve child title, where it's just a function but which promises a text string. um, it can be anything in the data or anything, and whenever we go to the page itself, we can just use um, any resolver to be able to get those title also. That's another way. It's more of advanced routing, and also there is multiple way we can get those data also, as I mentioned. So here is another way where we can get the ID from the param whenever we redirect to a new page, if we send something. But one of the most important concept in routing is the lazy loading. um, what lazy loading is does is we don't have to import the whole all the JavaScript at the first render. Now if we reload this page and go to network, you'll see that everything coming at one shot, but we usually don't need to do everything in one shot. What we can do is, if we had a module like A or B, we could use a lazy loading here itself to import those module. That can be done through lazy loading also in Angular. I Let's see if there is any example here to show. Yeah, so here is the one. Here's an example. Assuming we have a module in the item, and what it does is like we can import those module directly as a lazy module, and then whenever we go to this item, then only all of this module related code will be imported, which is a very good way to optimize your code, as well as on the first render load less code. Now on the standalone component, since it's a standalone component, we have this configuration route where we can just use those standard code into importing those component as well. So in network tab, we gonna have a different import every time, like something like this in chunk. So I hope this will be helpful, and I'll gonna see in the next video. Thank you.